Y'all got over 100 different forms of contraception.
That's true.
But
they're trying to take them.
I have never.
They're trying to take that.
No, listen,
they're trying to take it.
They're not. Listen,
they're trying to take birth control. They're trying to take all of that.
The biggest form of contraception that you have is whether or not you want to open up your legs in the first place. Listen.
Hey, what's going on, generation, and welcome back. We got another video for y'all, and today we are reacting one of the greats in these spaces, Anton Daniels. And pretty much Anton made a group of women on a panel freak out, and it was like, what? What are you talking about? Freak out. You feel me? If I can be honest with y'all, it makes me very uncomfortable on how bad certain people really want to delete children. And what I mean by that, you're talking about sending children to the upper room. In Jesus. Like, it's honestly very disturbing for me, which is what you're about to see. But hold up, if you guys are just now hitting this video, I need you guys to hook me up with the HBO. You guys to help a brother out by hitting that like button and that subscribe button. Just let me know that it is real. I really appreciate the support. With that being said, let's not waste no more time. Let's roll the clip.
Could you guys ever date someone who does not align with your point of view when it comes to politics? Excel?
I could date somebody as long as their views aren't extreme.
Okay.
When it become extreme, it's going to drive a wedge between our household. Because what is important to me, honestly, should be important to you. Like right now in this climate, women's rights is important to me.
Right.
I should be able to have control over my body. So to have a mate who telling me like, nah, that don't matter, you shouldn't be able to have, like, that would drive me insane. So I could do it, but once it go extreme, I can't do it no more.
I feel you.
That's insane.
That's wild.
What's it
Facts.
say?
Because you don't have no control over your body when you're married. That's out the window.
That's the point.
Well, first of all,
facts.
hold on. No, let's just be for real. First of all, the man is the head of the household. I don't believe in no partnerships. I don't believe in none of that. It's God, man, woman, child. And so first of all, she got to get on his page.
Right.
I don't believe in all of that, you do your own thing, we unequally yoked. That's the whole idea.
Even when it comes to politics?
Everything.
So, okay, so hear me out. Here we go. Question.
If I see a woman that is voting different than her man, I know that he don't have no control.
He don't have no leadership. Now, as much as we don't want to agree with that, I do agree with that. I do think that, but that's why I couldn't date somebody that didn't have the same political alignment as me. Because I think that if you're not aligned in your household, there is a lack of leadership somewhere. Crystal, what you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not really big on politics. I'm just starting to really learn about politics because the way that I grew up and the way that my life moved, politics wasn't important to me. You get what I'm saying? So now that I'm at a stage where all of that is starting to matter, the tax bracket, the figuring this out, and how the government is actually working for me or against me, it matters a little bit more, but I have a lot of learning to do. So at this point in time, like, he's a 10, but he's a Republican, it kind of would go over my head because, like I said, politics is not something that I'm strongly into.
Okay, so what if I said he's a 10, but he's voting for Trump?
My twin brother is voting for Trump.
Oh.
What does that mean? People try to act like Trump is his own party. That's like me saying she's a dime, but she votes for Kamala. Because we all know that this lady is a liar. She is a cold-faced liar. She lied about listening to Tupac, and I'm pretty sure Tupac was like 13 or 14 years old when she was in college. She lied about working at McDonald's. She lied about so many things. Like, bruh, you cannot make this stuff up. I'm so glad Trump won, bro. I'm so glad Trump won.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's like we have differences in opinions. I just had, like, as far as that being my twin brother, you know, brother, period. I respect where he coming from, but it's a debate. People have different feelings about how they look at things, and he's a black man.
Yeah.
And I guess from the way he's lived life, he feel like Trump is his choice,
Can I piggyback off something he said?
Yeah, I was gonna get back to it.
Okay.
I was going back to it. He said some ish.
He did.
But yeah, you can absolutely piggyback. What did he say that you want to piggyback off of?
So here is a fact. We are not the same people that we were 5 years ago. We're not the same people that we were 5 minutes ago. You should be evolving and changing.
Yes, you are. Most individuals at your age don't change. Like, I don't know why everyone keeps saying that thing. That's just not true. You are the same person. It is super hard for a person to change the way that they think, okay? Like, it's super hard, especially when you're programmed to think a certain way. A lot of people out here have a lot of pride. And so when they're taught a certain way of thinking, they think this is the way of life. And when you correct that person, their ego is hurt. Like, not a lot of people are humble enough to have an open mind to things. So it's super hard for that person to change their mindset. Like, let's not pretend like things are new under the sun. Like, that's not a thing. Nothing new is under the sun. A lot of people tend to do things over and over again because they do not change.
So even in marriage, regardless of what type of relationship that you have, my views may change. So at that point, do we divorce?
No, you're supposed to be growing together, though.
But some people don't.
That's too damn bad!
So as my views change, and or maybe we haven't gotten there yet. Because maybe we can grow together, but we're starting to realize that my view is different from yours. Sometimes it takes a little counseling, a little intervention to come in and say, hey, you know, this is what's happening. You guys are growing apart. How do we get it back?
Who are you listening to besides your husband?
Well, we're waiting.
How are y'all two drifting apart like that? Who are you listening to besides your husband? That's my question. You're going out doing something on your own. You ain't even moving together as a team. Like, what is this?
So if that's the case, like, because
I don't see that because that just means that you're just too much of a strong, independent woman.
He's absolutely right.
Facts.
You looking for insight from somebody outside of your household.
So am I not supposed to have a mind of my own at all?
Absolutely.
No,
and I'm gonna take into consideration what you're saying, but this is a benevolent dictatorship. This is not a democracy.
Wait a minute.
Facts.
I didn't sign up for a dictatorship.
Absolutely, you did. And most of the time, the interesting thing about it is because
I did not sign up for a dictatorship.
Randy, what you got to understand is that
what you gotta understand.
All right, ma'am, you are distracting from the show. I get it. You're trying to be funny right now, but just stop. Please stop.
You absolutely signed up for the inherent nature of a woman is to lean into her femininity.
Yeah.
She's not even supposed to have all of these. Listen,
He said you bitches ain't supposed to be able to vote.
You ain't no
Right.
No. Listen, think about it. Let me finish.
That joking. 2K, what
Let
you
me
mean by
finish.
that?
Let me
Hold on.
finish.
2K.
Listen.
2K. You said we not. Why shouldn't we be able to vote 2K?
The 14th Amendment was the worst amendment out of all right, they gave women the right to vote. But first of all, what you voting for a president for who can send us to war, but you ain't got to go fight?
Well, actually, technically, right now in the paperwork, it does say that women can be drafted as well.
Y'all don't. I was in the military. Y'all don't hit the battlefield.
Boom. That's crazy. You effed around and found the right one. You messed up talking to a person who's actually in the military. Y'all don't go out there. They say y'all get drafted, but y'all don't do those other things. Have you not seen the movie Saving Private Ryan? Do you see what happens to those grown men on the battlefield? You will never be the same. Ever. You will never be the same. You are definitely getting some type of PTSD. And you going to have somebody out there with your fun bags sitting beside you? Nigga, please. Thank you, brother. Thank you. The one with the big beard. I'm so glad you are here to check her.
Y'all do paperwork.
Well, somebody got to do it. Huh.
Somebody definitely got to do it.
Somebody got to keep it organized.
The interesting thing about it is that
Do you want a woman shooting for you though?
Do I want a woman to shoot for me?
You might want a woman.
Yo, nigga, you was a simp. Talking about do I want a woman to shoot for me? Yo, I'm telling you right now, he's a simp. Do not pay any attention to this man. I remember this dude from last time I reacted to one of these shows. Bruh, man.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
You might want a woman shooting for you. We be on point when it comes to certain
First of all,
stuff.
I'm an expert marksman. Thank you kindly. Have been one since 16. I got an NRA qualification. Thank you kindly.
Anton is disgusted.
You've been shooting niggas since you were 16.
I don't
don't remember there being no African Americans or people of color in there. To my recollection, there was only a bunch of niggas.
Why are you discussing?
Because the way that women vote and the way that they think is the reason why this situation is in turmoil the way that it is.
Is that the
today.
thing about we're emotions? We think with our emotions, we move with our emotions. Is that what
y'all
you're
vote
saying?
based
Is
off
that-
of identity?
No.
The first thing that Kamala Harris did when she was nominated, or when she was given the role, because she didn't have to debate her way through a primary in order to get to this position in the first place.
Yeah.
She didn't have to earn it. She was picked for it. The first thing that she did was she called on AKAs and the Divine Nine and then women for Kamala Harris in order to get her in the office. She didn't give y'all no policy. She still ain't gave y'all no policy. She ain't give y'all no
policy.
No, she
You don't know what you're saying, do you? Of course I do. You don't know what you're saying. Of course I do. You don't know what you're saying.
She hasn't. She's given talking points. She hasn't given anything.
I cannot disagree with him on
She
that.
hasn't given anything tangible that would allow.
So let me get this straight. So you agree with him on that, but you still went out to go vote for her, even though she hasn't given any policies? What are we doing here? Can we not all agree on both sides that she is foolish for doing that? Like, this is just sad.
For y'all to actually benefit. And then also, if you look at her track record from what it is that she's done, first as a district attorney, secondly as a vice president, as the person that has cast different votes as far as the tiebreakers for some of the policies that we have today. And then third, as far as what it is that she was tasked with over the last 3.5 years, you cannot sit here and tell me that your life is better off over the last 3.5 years than it was in 2016 through 2020.
My life is for sure.
But here's the thing. Here's
My
the
life
thing.
is also
No, it's not. I'm talking about.
No, it's not.
No. When I speak to the majority, not individual specific things.
So no, it's not.
The cost of living.
Not the president.
When
like,
she
doesn't make the rules.
she
She make
absolutely
the laws. Let's
does.
start there. And the House is divided. So how does the president get stuff in policies?
She was the
accomplished
tiebreaker
without
from
having-
every single decision that went through as far as the policy. The thing that she was tasked with the most was making sure that she solved for the things that was coming over into this country that we complaining about today.
Like what?
Right.
Like, for example, Chicago is $1 billion every single year in its fiscal budget in a deficit. Largely $700 million of that is going to migrants.
Okay.
New York, they cutting sanitation, teachers, and police officers. If you look at Denver, migrants has taken over apartment buildings. Go over to LA. Oakland is about to file for bankruptcy. Go down to Houston. All of these same mayors, and all of these are ran by black women and black men. All of them were signing the legislation as far as making sure that they align with President Biden and opening up the border, and then they come and they messing up y'all cities.
So we need to elect some white people?
See what I mean? That's fentanyl.
No.
Hey, yo. I'm sick of this. Kamala, Camel Toe. Yo, I'm gonna give it a ban. She's not even black, bruh. Like, and Anton ain't even saying all, like, I'm starting to get triggered now, bro. Ooh, I'm starting to get triggered, bro. Let me calm down. Calm down, brother. Calm down. Hope you know, you just did the identity thing that he just said. So, this is crazy.
We need to elect. No. It's not about white people. It's about the fact that we vote based off of identity.
Facts.
We don't vote based off of who has the best policy. And most of the time, it's the person that look like you because we so busy focused on making sure that we have somebody that we can identify with as far as what we look like instead of the person that's going to work in your best interest.
Well,
Facts.
every negative attribute or whatever you want to call it that comes against us, you can go right back to slavery and see where we got it from.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Really?
We vote off of identity because that's how it was. Like back in slavery, the guy who had the flashy shit, the black guy who was free, who he was the only one. He had a piece of land, a piece of property.
Oh, Django?
We wanted to be.
Did you just say that y'all vote based off identity, but a little while ago you said you don't vote based off identity?
Y'all vote based off of identity.
No.
You can't argue with them, y'all. They're liars. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I was there, I would call them out on their lies. Being like, didn't just a second ago y'all just said y'all don't vote based off identity? Like, at this point, they have no idea what they're talking about. Only Anton and the military dude are the only ones that do.
him, and we wanted to look like him. In order for them not to check your papers, you had to look like you had some money. We identified with identities from way back into slavery. So we have the biggest issue that we have right now is educating our young people. It's us educating our young people. It's not necessarily right now. We can't fix the older people who are already doing it, but we're not reaching out to grab my kids and your kids and saying, look, we got to change the narrative. We got to.
Nah, F all that. Kids are not supposed to be involved when it comes to politics. Like, what are you talking about? Let a kid be a kid. Grown adults need to be informed about politics. The thing is about black people, bro, we know nothing about politics. All we really know is what the media tells us. Like, we don't do our own research. Black people need to start doing their own research and be informed about what party they're supporting. Because I guarantee you, a lot of y'all don't know nothing about politics. I'm going to keep it a band.
Change how this works and how we operate.
Don't send them to school.
Because there's so many kids right now who don't know nothing about voting. It's so many people my age who right now got 18 and 19-year-olds who don't take them to the polls with them. Why not?
They don't need to go to the polls if they're not informed voters.
But that's why. But that's just what she's saying is inform them, help educate them.
Listen, you not even telling me nothing because you don't even understand that the very party that y'all aligned with the most was the party that was actually against black people in the first place.
Facts.
No, that's
Facts.
It is absolutely true.
It did a complete flip.
Yo, I'm sorry. They never did a complete flip. I'm gonna keep it a band, bro. I hate this. I hate how people constantly say this. Republicans and Democrats flipped in the 1960s. That was never the case. Like, this is what I mean by people don't do their proper research. The ones that actually flipped was the civil rights leaders. They're the ones that flipped sides. That's why even in Martin Luther King's last speech, he legit said that he felt like he walked his people into a burning house fire. What do you think he meant by that?
You don't find that suspicious?
Like, I'm telling y'all, people don't do their research at all, whatsoever, man. It's crazy. They never switch sides. Never.
The Republican Party was the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is the Republican Party.
This is the party that literally tied y'all to the federal government, and that's the whole idea behind the Democratic Party. The Republican Party is not to tell you what you can and can't do. It's to remove government from your choices.
Facts.
Right? The whole idea of it is we're going to allow for you to be able to achieve the American dream. It's not to give you anything.
But meanwhile, the Republican Party wants the government to get involved in what I do with my body.
It's not. They want the.
That's not true at all. Republicans are not saying that. Republicans are saying, hey, yo, knock this down from federal to state. And whichever state says, hey, yo, we cool with them sending children to the upper room, move to that state. Just move over there. You do understand that federal is when the government controls everything. And the state is when the people in the state can vote and choose what that state does. Like, ma'am, you are just wrong.
Government to remove it from. No, it's not. So this is what happened. They don't. The federal government is saying oversight, as far as from a federal perspective, should not be in your determination for what you can do with your body.
Okay,
what they're saying is, hold on, let me tell you. What they're saying is it should go to the state's level. We shouldn't have no involvement in it. So if your state vote based off of what it is that you do, and all of y'all people that go to the polls, whether you're informed or not, if y'all vote that this is what we gonna do as far as abortion and women's reproductive rights, then that's the state level. They don't want to be involved in it. They believe in less government. That's a lie that they tell you.
I think that is.
Y'all want to abort babies?
No, it's not that we want to abort babies.
Don't lie to me.
We want to have access.
Do you understand that they want to prosecute doctors for saving lives from ectopic pregnancies and the things that we do go through? Like, so now if you save this woman's life, you go to jail. So
where do they say that? I want to see where they say that. That if a lady is about to go to the upper room and a doctor saves her by sending a little child to the upper room, that doctor's going to prison. You have said so many things that are just wrong. Misread glasses. Like, that just blew my mind. Like, she's just saying idiotic things back to back to back at this point.
Her die.
I don't know about
no, but it's happening in Louisiana.
That's the truth, though.
Never heard that.
Crystal, what do you have to say?
I wanted to say, with the whole abortion thing, it blew my mind when I found out why they're so against it. So if you look at the numbers on how many women abort their fetuses, The mass majority of women who have abortions are white women.
Yes.
What's starting to happen is the African American community, well, not just African Americans, other races are starting to outnumber people of color.
Yes.
So now in that situation, there is causing them to say no more abortions, because if y'all not having babies, we can't grow as a people.
Correct.
And it might sound shady, it might sound crazy, and no offense to nobody, because I know we have a mixed audience, but truth is truth, and that's what it is. More Caucasian women have abortions. When they don't have their babies, they cannot populate. Then you have mixed breeding with the white people and the black people, stuff that they don't want to happen. So when you think that, oh, it has something to do with, oh, you shouldn't do it, that's not what it's about at the end of the day.
Shh. Calm down. What does this got to do with anything? What are you telling me this information for? Like, what the hell is she talking about? Like, you're making no sense, bruh. Yo, people are simply against sending children to the upper room because it's wrong to delete a child. And they want you to be more responsible with your body. It should never result for you to decide whether someone else lives or dies. Just be accountable for who you lay up with in bed. That's it. Don't y'all find it crazy how society programs these women to fight to the nail to avoid life consequences? In this case, it's having a child too early or when they're not ready. They think it's okay to send a baby to the upper room. But what they should have done is pick a man who's a suitable father, get married, and have children. But nah, they want to be outside having a hot girl summer and being mad irresponsible, which is just leading us to more destruction and more dysfunction in our people.
It's the fact that they want their population, they want their own race to grow. They don't want us to take over.
I'm amazed.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all are fighting, because they are literally controlling their emotions over something that you can control yourself.
Yeah,
that's not
over.
The only,
No.
Hold on. That's not the only.
Hold on. Y'all got
abortion
over
talk.
100 different forms of contraception.
That's true.
But they're trying to take them.
I have never.
They're trying to take that.
No, listen,
they're trying to take it.
They're not. Listen,
they're trying to take birth control. They're trying to take all of that.
The biggest form of contraception that you have is whether or not you want to open up your legs in the first place.
And Facts. She feels so defeated. All the women there are getting triggered. And the other thing I want to state is that, madam, it's already shown now that birth control is linked to cancer. I don't know if it's all forms of birth control, but I'm very sure it's the pill version that's linked to it.
Listen. I have never in my life have I ever needed the federal government to determine whether or not I was gonna have a child out of wedlock. Not one time. That's an exception. That's not the majority.
That's not an exception.
No.
She could get raped and still be forced to have her
Well,
child.
then she need better parents to govern her.
She can't. The fact she got off the bus
rape is not something. No, rape and incest is not something that they disagree with on the Democratic side or the Republican side. That's.
Why do they always bring up the tiny percentage? They always bring up the exception. Like, do they not understand that the exception doesn't make the rule? I'm starting to think that women who are perfectly fine going on these panels are stupid. They're stupid. I'm starting to think almost 90% of the women who are perfectly fine with going on these panels, not the ones that are on the computers, I'll give you that. The ones that are going up on these stages and talking are retarded and dumb.
That's an extreme. We talking to the majority.
Aretha Franklin.
I have never in my life, since I was a little kid, since I first started having sex, ever worried about having a kid.
You started having sex when you was a little kid?
I ain't gonna go into that. Since I was young,
tell your story.
I have never worried about.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up!
The federal government trying to control whether or not I had a kid out of wedlock.
So wait,
that's not an issue for me.
Hold on, let's reset. From what I have seen in my research, they're also trying to control contraceptives and birth control. For someone like myself, let me get my whole thought out. For someone like myself who is not trying to, I'm on birth control, not to prevent having pregnant, well, yeah, for sure to prevent pregnancy, because that one and done is for show, okay? But also because it's like a hormonal therapy for me. I, with me having fibroids and cysts, they put me on birth control to help balance out what I go through. And since I've been on birth control, I have felt so much better, especially during my cycle. Sorry, TMI guys, but it is what it is. Women that experience things like fibroids and cysts, when we get on birth control, it literally is a life changer. I was spending 50% of my month. Yes, especially in Black women. I was spending 50% of my month in the bed sick. When I say in the bed sick, I mean literally cannot move, migraines. My friends are literally like, are you dying? Are you okay? You feel me? Like that was really going on. So for me now to see that, okay, let's say they don't want to necessarily control everything and they want to put it at a state level, but even the option of me knowing that they possibly want to take this birth control away from me, and I know what that's going to do to my body and how I'm going to feel and how my body will react to that, that's scary.
I've never seen a Republican candidate,
scary.
especially Trump himself. I have not seen him say anything about removing any medication as far as what it is that he's doing.
Listen to JD Vance a little bit more. He gonna tell you everything you need to hear. Okay, but you know what? You see how worked up everybody just got in this conversation? Y'all see how that went? My real question is, why do we care so much?
I don't care about anything y'all gotta say right now. I'm good on that. I'm good. Yup, this was just wild, bro. Just ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That was a terrible host. You were just loud for nothing. And the lady who clearly we all know who listens to Salt and Pepper on the right with the red glasses, she's just wild. She was wrong so many times. It was just outstanding, bruh. And Anton did his thing. Anton did a great job holding it down, standing 10 toes down. I'm so happy he brought on the brother who was in the military to check this host. Talking about, oh, we get drafted, but y'all don't go on no battlefield. Like, y'all need to stop lying, bro. Just stop. And that's gonna be today's video generation. Let me know in the comment section below if this video is a W or L in the chat. And please be sure to assist with the HBO. And that's to help a brother out by hitting that like button and that subscribe button. And also share this video to other people, man, so that they can know they can conquer anything that's possible. As long as they have the will to learn, the faith to stay within the fight, stay disciplined, be consistent, keep on moving forward. Hey, yo, you can legit conquer the impossible. Because that's what this channel is mainly about. I'm here to educate and teach y'all, honestly learn myself how we can become the best version of ourselves. That's the goal, that's what we strive here for. Your man's on the mission, your man's on the grind. I never leave your brother and sister behind. I'm only trying to help those and want to let the light shine. Because this is what the world needs, the reason why. Until next time, my brother and sister, until next time I see y'all. Peace.